my fellow wizards, it's time to highlight a rare piece of gear that could just be the exact thing you need for your next 10 out of 10 stitch. Cause ratemystitch has been looking pretty sad recently, and frankly, you all need some help. Seriously though, you guys actually really need help. I'm concerned. I've covered several other fantastic stitch options in some of my previous videos, so if stitching is your passion, definitely check out those as well. Anyway, let's jump right in and take a look at the amazing Dragonhorn Helm. There are 8 different versions of this hat, one for each school, and a universal option with each coming in a different color, though the hats can all thankfully be dyed. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a picture of the universal hat, so here's my professional artistic recreation. And let's just say that if you're going for a dragon or death themed stitch, this should be your go-to option. The horns give me an intimidating Maleficent type vibe, and the protruding dragon skull just really ups the scare factor. Like, I would not want to mess with someone wearing this. And I'm really glad that the hat totally covers your wizard's face, because I think other similar hats like the crafted Draco spike helms just don't work as well because your goofy face is just kind of peering out, which seems to be a common problem these days with stitch designs. Like, please just put a bag over it. The only things I would tweak if given the option would be to remove the colored helmet part of the hat so it's just the dragon skull itself, and then add glowing eyes that match each school's color instead. So fire would get glowing red eyes, storm would get purple, etc., kind of like the bone dragon mount. But for those interested in more than just appearance, these hats also offer some pretty interesting item cards. While balance, death, storm, fire, ice, and life give you some standard dragon-themed item cards for spells like Leviathan, Hydra, and Skeletal Dragon, the myth version gives you 2 copies of the Keeper of the Flame lore spell, which can otherwise be hard to get your hands on, and the universal Dragonhorn Disciples Helm gives the life spell Eternal Leviathan, which deals damage to a target while healing all your allies. This spell in particular is quite rare, as this helmet, as far as I'm aware, is the only way to get a copy at present. So, where in the spiral can you farm for these hats? They're actually tucked behind a side quest that you can acquire in the Forlorn Tide in Polaris from the NPC Brandon, which then sends you all the way back to Dragonspyre to fight Nerberyx, a formidable undead draconian boss. I think many people tend to overlook side quests like these, but they can lead to some really fun quests and rewards. This whole questline in particular was actually designed by the real-life Brandon, a player who visited Kingsisle as part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which in my opinion is just really cool. Once you work your way through the side quest, you'll find Nerberyx's sigil to the left-hand side of Dragon's Roost near the entrance to the Great Spire. Inside, you'll find Neberyx himself with an eye-watering 44,000 health, as well as his minion, nodnarb, which is just Brandon spelled backwards, with 22,400 health. Neberyx has several cheats to pay attention to, starting with a late cheat where if a wizard joins the duel after a second round, he'll cast a Moonsoul version of Insane Bolt at the wizard, which deals 1,500 moon damage. He'll also randomly use his natural attack followed by a Virulent Plague debuff. Finally, his main cheat to be concerned with involves him having a chance to cast Earthquake if any wizard casts a Blade or Global spell. This also includes Pet Maycasts as well. Otherwise, your main challenges when fighting him include dealing with him casting multiple types of weaknesses to reduce your attacks, and nodnarb casting elemental, spiritual, and tower shields, ice armor, and buffing with various balance blades. Since Nerberyx has a tendency to earthquake, traps are going to be your best friend here. Feint stacking with regular, potent, item card, and TC versions is always a good strategy, along with spells that remove shields like Pierce or Shatter. You can also try to counter Nerberyx's earthquakes with Vaporize or Aegis so you can use charms safely. You'll also want to carry spells like Cleanse Charm or Dark Pact to help remove weaknesses. It may be easier to focus down Nerberyx's minion first to prevent him from shielding, and then take on Nerberyx himself, depending on how many wizards are in the fight. Once you defeat Neberyx, he has a chance to drop the Dragonhorn Helms and also unique treasure cards and jewels that give you a Summon Brandon minion item card for different schools. These jewels are no shatter, so you can socket and unsocket them as many times as you want. Note that the Dragonhorn Helms themselves are unfortunately no trade, so you do need to farm for them on the same wizard you want to equip or stitch them to. Once you return to Brandon to turn in the quest, you will get a guaranteed Brandon minion jewel for your school as a reward, but you can always farm Neberyx for more. And as an interesting added bonus, even if you think they aren't really that useful, you may want to hold onto your Brandon jewels and treasure cards for Wallaroo of all places, because if you summon Brandon during the Nightmare Dungeon when fighting the Didgeridoo Dragon, you will get this secret badge, Phone-a-Friend, which is just a fun throwback. I keep telling you guys, this is why you need to hoard everything in this game. Anyway, once you have your desired Dragonhorn Helm, you can feel free to put together a truly deadly looking stitch. Some interesting combos I found online include pairing the hat with Malistaire Staff from the Spiral Villains Horde pack, or the Moon Wands from the Gloomthorn Nightmare pack, the robes from the Road Warriors pack, or the male Halloween robe. I think the hat could also go really well with the crafted Draco wingmail robes and Draco greaves from Acteon in the Beast Moon Arena area, or even the Nightmare robe and boots. Basically anything that looks scaly, skeletal, or dragon-like in appearance. Also, for mounts, this stitch is just begging to be paired with something like the Bone Dragon or Road Warrior's Chopper, but I'd love to hear your suggestions in the comments below. It's time to get your edgelord aesthetic going, people. You're welcome. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and definitely let me know what rare items or interesting stitches you'd like me to cover next. And feel free to tag me on Twitter at Zepho with your stitches and rate my stitch. I love to see them. As always, I hope to see you out there in the spiral, and happy questing.